Hey guys, it's been a while since my last video. I think it's been over a week. So in my last video, I did talk about some of the similarities between the Ethereum's price action versus some of the famous crashes in the past. For example, the Nikkei 225 index. I talked about, in the beginning there was a huge major crash from the top. It just peaks. It peaked like a triangle at the top. The tip is really sharp for the Nikkei, and then it came down just in a very vertical manner, right? In only a very short period of time. Then it bounced and made two double tops here. Then it continued to go down. So I hypothesized that Ethereum was actually doing probably the same thing here. And it turns out I was correct. I was expecting the Ethereum price to bounce a little bit higher, maybe make a fake out, but it never happened. It basically had this kind of triple top. If you guys, let me just remove all these drawings from the last time. You can see that here we had this. You can argue this is like a double top, right? And here is a kind of retracement. And there's two double tops. It's just double tops, and then now it keeps going downwards. What happened? I think this is basically the beginning of something like that. We will see the price keeps on declining, and you can see that here when it broke when it reached over here where there was a previous low. For the Nikkei, what happened to the price was, if you look at this, the market gave the participant a fake sense of double bounce, right? Fake sense of double bottom, right? Imagine you cannot see the future. You can see that here the price reached this exact level, then it bounced. It found buyers. It bounced only for maybe 1 or 2 days for the Nikkei, and for Ethereum, I think it's going to be the same. It's going to be a very weak bounce, which is happening right now. Then it's going to drift down even further. And if we do break below this level, which is a 1700 level, if we do break down below and able to hold on below. We might see another bounce here. You can see that Nikkei had another bounce. So it break down, had another bounce, but obviously that's not gonna hold. Then more sellers comes in and start breaking this down even further. I think that's really gonna happen for Ethereum. That we are in a prolonged bear market. I think eventually the price. It really depends on the velocity of this bear market, right? Let's say if this is I don't think Ethereum is going to enter a super long-term bear market like Nikkei did, right? Because Nikkei had a really super long-term bull market since for almost how many years? 84 to 1989. This is almost 5 years, and this data is not complete. I think the bull market starts around 1970s, so it was like a 20-year bull market for Nikkei. It barely had any form of correction during that phase, during that climb, and so that's why the bear market for Nikkei is also like 20 years, 30 years, right? It's asymmetrical. I think for Ethereum, I don't think this market is over. I think we are in a multi-year bull market, but during this time, I think the price has gone way too much, and there are too many amateurs, too many weak hands who really bought around this level, right? If you look at the time that the price stays, it really mostly stayed in this particular box right here, right? For almost 180 days, and most people did not buy here. People who mostly just sold here. You can see the price here during the crash. The smart money bought here. So the smart money really bought here around You can see the huge amount of volume. The smart money basically bought this dip. And the smart money are usually the institution money. They bought here. Their average is about 134, 150. And they are around this level. I think more smart money bought here around this level, around 300. So overall, the smart money probably holding around an average of 250 to 300. Let's say they average about 300. So what I'm thinking is that the smart money, the buy zone for Ethereum is actually probably somewhere around this level here. So if the price does fall to somewhere close to 300 to 400 level, we will see more institution, the actual money that can move the market to step in. I think right now what happened was the institution probably distributed the money. It distributed all the Ethereum around this level. I believe this part is a euphoric distribution, and most Ethereum has been really distributed to the weak hands, which are the retails. And the retails cannot hold this. They're not diamond hand. I know you guys talking about diamond hand. You guys talking about holding this for the long term. But if the price does drop by 80%, 90% from the peak, which I suspect it would, most people won't be able to hold on. Okay, most retails are really, really weak hands, and I mean, they're probably gonna sell even with 30% loss, but rarely anybody. It doesn't matter how strong you are not going to be able to hold on with a 90% loss in your portfolio. Assuming it's a significant amount of money, right? If you're only putting $1,000 into this, you lose 90%. You don't really care, but a lot of people who bought around this area, they joined the hype. They probably put in their life savings into crypto, and we already seen Dogecoin has already dropped 70% from the peak, and it could drop further, right? And you can see Ethereum, which is one of the major cryptocurrency. I don't think it's going to drop by 90%. My more realistic projection is that somewhere here, around this level, once it goes below 600, is actually a very good chance to load up more Ethereum. If you are to not load up more Ethereum, sorry, to buy back your Ethereum. So I've already sold everything around 2,900, 2,800 here. I did not sell here. I'm not a genius. I did not figure out that was the top. Came down. The first thing I did was selling all my stuff at these bounds, right? I sold around 2,800, 2,900 level. And I'm just waiting for this market to come down and reach maybe sub 600 level. That's something I'm looking. That's the level I'm looking to buy. I'm not looking to buy below 400. I think getting to below the 400, 300 level is really, really gonna be. The probability is low. The probability is very low. So I'm not betting on that. So even if it does falls to that level, I think I'm just gonna buy around 600, and eventually it's gonna bounce back. But what's gonna happen is that once it goes to the 600, let's say it does fall to 600 level, it might just stay there and kind of wear you out, right? Because a lot of people are trapped here. If the price all of a sudden falls below this. Below 1,000, most people are going to be trapped around the $1,000 level, right? Above 1,000. So what's going to happen is the price is probably going to really fluctuate below 1,000 or around that area for a long time. So maybe we're going to see a lot of volatilities around this area, because every time the price goes up to the supply, used to be a crowded demand zone, and now it becomes a supply zone because everyone's trapped up there. So every time the price goes up there, try to break this level, I think it's just gonna find more sellers, and more sellers gonna sell the price down. Then price is actually gonna hover around that area for a long time, and after that there are two possibilities. One is that the price could eventually break out, and gradually we are going to make a new high, and we're gonna enter a new phase of bull market. Or the price might break down, right? Break down, and maybe we're gonna enter a even worse bear market. Then the price is gonna climb back up if we do have another cycle in crypto, which I do believe we will. But the thing is, this is gonna be a very painful period, right? It's gonna be a period where it's gonna wear most people out. It's gonna be wearing most of retail. The weak hands out of the market again. You will see that these groups on Telegram, these groups on Discord, people just gonna go on silent because there's absolutely nothing going on in the crypto market for that period of time, and people just gonna lose patience, and eventually they will just exit the market, or they probably gonna sell here, and eventually they're gonna sell out, exit the market. Then that's when the market's going to take off and leaving most people behind. That's how the market works. The market will always leave most people behind. We will always leave most people out of the market. And then it's going to go to some astronomical level again. Everyone gets excited again. Then it's going to suck everyone in. Then it's going to fall again. It's always like that. Most people will lose 90% of their money in the crypto market. That's how it works. That's why you really have to understand these kind of potential market scenarios, market structures, to understand the market psychology. And it's never late to take profit to protect yourself, right? There's really no point of let's say the Ethereum, this scenario does come true in the next couple of weeks. You will see that imagine you have bought here. $300 level, you hold all the way to 4,000. You made 10 times, which this is very possible, right? So there are some really smart retail money entering around this area, and they made 10 times around 4,000. They did not sell, and in couple of weeks they're back to square one. Literally, they're back to square one. It's gonna go to 500. So they make the most they can make is like 30%, which is really disappointing. And that is not a scenario you want to live with. You want to live through, right? You could have made, even you put 100,000, you made $1 million, and it came down. You barely made anything. You made like 50,000 versus $1 million. That's really, really sad, right? Sure, you believe in long-term Ethereum, but then, as I said, this market could oscillate for almost a year, for 2 years, right? And that's gonna wear you out, wear the patience. With most people who got trapped here, they probably have to sell the loss. Eventually, the market's gonna recover, but that's gonna be a couple years from now. And imagine you took a profit here for $1 million. You could use that money to invest in something else, while the crypto market, cryptocurrency going into bear market, right? Like that. And so it's very important for us to take profit periodically, to take profit when there is a obvious risk. You can see that here, the price have corrected more than 50% from the peak to the recent bottom here, and this is a huge sign that this market is probably done. It's a huge sign. It's a huge sign of weakness because most people got trapped, and this is something that we have to pay attention to. And that's it. That's all I want to talk about. Just another video of my warning that take some profit off the table, protect your gains. You don't want to sell, or you don't want to panic sell when it goes below 600 or even lower. Right? That's probably going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Okay, that's it. See you next time.